Hi, Beck Mack here for Pops Art, and I am at the Queensland Theatre 2020 launch, and I'm with another incredible star of the show, Trent Dalton. How are you?
Yeah, really well. I just had the most amazing moment in that launch. So I felt like I was in a little bit of a dream there, you know, and it's like, went and wrote this story, dark, wonderful, wondrous tale, and then they're going to turn it into a stage play, and it's, you know, it's pretty amazing.
Can you believe the impact of your story, your personal story? It's a phenomenal book. It's a TV show, and now it's a theatre show.
Yeah.
Has it taken you by surprise?
Yeah, completely. I swear to you, all that had to happen, Beck, was one of those books got made, right? I swear to God, that's a fact. One hard copy book that I could grab in my hands, and I'd take it over to Redcliffe, where my mum lives, and I'd put it in her hands, and I'd say, Mum, that's why you're my hero, right? That's all I had to do. That's all that had to happen. And then what happened was it gets translated into Hebrew and gets translated into Polish, and the Queensland Bloody Theatre Company come along and turn it into a stage play. And the minister's up there going, you know, we're excited about things that are happening, and they're embracing a story. You know, it's my world, you know. It's like the outer suburbs of Brisbane. I'm talking Brackenridge and Redcliffe and all those areas we all know, and it's just such a part of my heart and soul. But not for a second would I have thought that I'd be here talking to you at the launch, you know. So it's pretty cool, Beck. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so I guess, do you think part of what makes the book so interesting is it shows that Brisbane isn't so vanilla? It shows this other side, this other story, this part that Brisbane in itself has always been too afraid to look at or embrace.
Oh, Beck, so well said. I swear to God, because like that's so true. I wanted to get that colour. I wanted to paint the Brisbane that I knew the way, this is going to sound so silly, but I wanted to write about kids in my little area, Brackenridge, the way Charles Dickens wrote about London kids. Because I genuinely feel our stories are just as interesting. We just don't write them, you know. And the books growing up that I had, you know, like I read a lot about kind of New Farm and a kind of, you know, I was never reading about Darra and Brackenridge because you're exactly right. Yet there's so much colour and, yeah, there's darkness, but there's humour and there's hope and there's love and there's all the great things about life in there. And you're so right. It's like, tell those stories, you know, and that's what I've discovered. I was so terrified about telling that story. It's ridiculous.
I can imagine that. Like, was there a little bit of weird shame in it because of the nature of it and the criminal, you know, aspects people judge? So were you like revealing yourself?
Yeah, I was like kind of, Beck, I mean, I used to, you know, at school I used to lie about that stuff, you know, to protect myself or whatever, or to protect my brothers, and you know, and I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of the kid who felt like he had to do that, you know, and then I hit, you know, I'm a dad now, you know, and I'm never going to hold anything back from my kids and say, look, this is life, and this is this cool sort of city you're living in, you know, and it's like anything can happen in this place, just like any other great city in the world, you know, and I don't know, the book's all about that, and it's about that people aren't any one thing. We're not all good, and we're not, are we? You know, we're complex, and I really love that the rest of, you know, the bloody nation's sort of getting to know that idea from that book. Yeah. So.
It's also about set in Brisbane, but it's a universal story of survival and resilience. Yeah. But yours, your resilience, your survival. I mean, that is quite remarkable to share that.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that allowed you to get from that part in your life to where you are standing right now?
Yeah, well...
What do you got that everyone else doesn't?
Oh, man. No, Beck, you've got it. I bet you've got it. And I've got you right here because I'll tell you what it is. There were two guys in my book that are real people from my real life. One being the guy, Lyle, who's basically a heroin dealer guy who he went down for 10 years and went to Boggo Road. I love that guy. And the other guy is Slim Halliday, 75-year-old by the time I knew him as a kid. And but he was a killer, right? He was like a convicted killer at Boggo Road. And by the time he got out, he looked after us boys when we were kids. Now, the difference between me and those two fellas is they were abandoned as kids, you know, and they didn't have that one thing that my brothers and I had, which was love. No matter what anyone's going through, and no matter what the people in my story were going through, they freaking loved us like nobody's business. And we never doubted that for a second, Beck, and that's all it is. That's all it is, you know.
I'm so excited that we get to see this as a play now. Thank you so much for your time. Man. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you and everyone else. No, you're the best.
Thank you. You're the best.